Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Vicki. Thanks. I forgot to unmute the mic. Hey, Kim.
Oh, good morning.
We're
I'm
so glad
good.
you're here. If you don't know, this is Kim Goodrow, formerly Kim Big Shoe.
Formerly Goodrow, now Benshoe.
Formerly Goodrow, now Benshoe.
Yes.
Paul's wife. And so Kim is going to be talking with us today about, we had a really good introduction there in the beginning.
I know, we kind of lost it. But
Yeah, with no sound. So we're going to be talking about the welcome team.
Yes.
And Kim is our welcome team leader. You're our welcome team leader.
Okay.
We don't do committees here.
Yeah.
Because in my experience, I've been around a while. I look like it. I know.
About a week and a half longer than I have. So.
Well, okay. and I didn't meet the Lord till I was 15. I should say it this way. I didn't meet the Lord till we were 15.
Yes.
we're only, what did we say, 20?
11 days.
Is it 11? I think, so 21, yeah, okay.
Yeah, or so.
12
days.
Yeah, we're only 12 days apart. I know.
Hi, Vicki.
I know what you guys are thinking. I look a lot older than 12 days older than she. So when we were 15, that's when I came to know the Lord. Didn't have a church background before then, but since then I've been in church. I've been on staff at several churches. I've been I was ordained as a deacon when Hillary was a wee little lassie. When she was 5, I was a deacon at a church. I have been on all of the traditional church committees. In fact, I have been on the committee on committees.
The committee.
Did you know there's a committee on committees? In fact, I've even done that for our state convention. I've been on committees for our state convention. So I know the whole committee thing, and kind of the idea, my experience with committees, although I was on one committee that we did way more than just sit around and talk about it. At Ridgely Baptist Church in Fort Worth, I was on the renovation committee for the sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And man, there was a lot of coordinating and working with a contractor and a lot of kind of day-to-day. I was actually a contractor at the time, not the one doing the work. But so a lot of coordinating and day-to-day stuff. So, but typically committees plan and talk about it.
Yes.
We have teams here because teams actually do the ministry.
Yes.
And so the welcome team, this has been around for a while, but we kind of, we need to reboot it, respin it up. Mm-hmm. And you came on, sometime toward the end of last year. I think I asked you if you would do that. Mm-hmm. And so we were just now getting to where,
yes,
man, I'll tell you what, time flies when you don't know what you're doing. No, time flies when you're having fun. And so we're going to spin that back up. But so let me ask first of all, what's a welcome team?
We're fleshing.
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
But we're fleshing a lot of this out. So
yes.
A lot of this this is having a welcome team for a church isn't a new thing. They called them different things back when I was younger. But the way we're going to do things here may be a little bit different. So mm-hmm. tell us kind of what is a welcome team? What's a welcome team about?
To me, the welcome team are the people who are the first face that you see when you come in. Mm-hmm. They can be standing outside. They can be right inside the door, in the coffee area, not only to greet our church family members, mm-hmm. but also to invite people who are maybe making their way to the door for the first time.
Yeah. Okay. And the reason we call it a welcome team is because I know what some of you are thinking, that's just greeters. Well, and no, it's not. It's not just greeters. Here's kind of our idea for a welcome team. And it is the first face. And I've seen other churches call this different things. We kind of batted that around. But I think welcome team is a good place to start. We may change the name somewhere down the way, but because we want people to feel welcome mm-hmm. here. I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience. I know it's happened here. I pray it happens rare. But have you ever gone to a church? You come in, sit down, sit through the whole church, and leave, and nobody they might say hi, but that's about it.
Yes.
And I've done that. I've gone to
Mhm.
churches that I'm like, I don't feel very welcome.
Mhm.
I've gone to churches as a pastor where, and I'm a little ornery. my grandma would say, a lot of times I go and I know this is cheating a little bit, but I come in and I'm usually a friendly guy, and I come in because deep down I'm really an introvert, so I let my introvert out. Isn't that funny? So I come in as an introvert, and so I know there are times when I go to some churches or gatherings that I'm giving off a introvert vibe. And sometimes I do that on purpose because I want to see. I want to see how other people handle that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Because we may have someone come here that way.
Mhm.
And it may come off as I don't want anybody to talk to me, but the reality may be as I am scared to death to come into this place alone.
Yep.
And so we want even that person who, even when you try to talk with them, give off the I don't want to talk to anybody vibe. We want them to feel welcome.
Mhm.
That's our biggest thing. We want everyone to come here to feel welcome.
Yes. At my old church in New York, which granted is bigger than ours here, the very first time I was alone, and I went inside, and it was so overwhelming that I could have turned around. And one of the welcome team, their version of it, saw the look on my face, and came straight over and, gave me a coffee cup and a pen and
Wow.
showed me where to fill up the cup. And then
I like that.
yes, I was like, oh, okay, yes, this is this is good.
Without knowing anything else about that church, I like it already.
Yes, yes, and that's the church where I led Bible studies, and that's where I got baptized. But that first day, I was like, I'm out. It was too much. It was too many people. I didn't know where to go. So yeah, that one person saw the deer in the headlights look on my face and came over and really pulled me in.
It's a big church. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm about 99.5% sure
Yeah,
this is her first time.
I think my foot is halfway out the door.
Yeah.
But
So my absolute best experience with this was, gosh, years and years. I'll tell a quick little story. It was my second year here. We came in November. I didn't make the first evangelism conference because I'd only been here just a couple of months. Because back then they had it at the beginning of January. They moved it now, or at the end of January. Now they do it at the end of February. So I'd just been here a couple of months, so I didn't feel like I could go away for 3 or 4 days. But my second year here, so this is in 2004, no, 2005. Anyways, this is back in the day. This is before smartphones. Didn't come around until 2007. So before smartphones, I researched. It's in Albuquerque that I wasn't familiar with, even though to me it's not a big city, but for everybody else it is. And
comparatively,
so compared to Dallas Fort Worth, yeah. And I just come from Dallas Fort Worth, so I have my maps. I know a hotel I'm staying in, and so I actually went for a disaster relief training that was happening on Saturday. So I went Friday, stayed the night, went to the disaster relief training on Saturday. Sunday was going to go to Hoffmantown Church, which is where the evangelism conference is again this year. And so I was going to go there Sunday, so I know because that's where the evangelism conference was going to be. So all that, go through all the stuff on Saturday, and it's Sunday morning, I got plenty of time. And I had printed out, that was back in the MapSco day, not the MapSco, what do you call it?
MapQuest.
It was the Microsoft Trips and Streets, which is what I had when I first came.
Okay.
So I printed it out and go, and I find myself in a residential area, and there's a Starbucks there now, so I would have been happy, but there wasn't back then. And I just drive this little air back and forth, and it's getting closer and closer to 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I don't know, it's Harbor Street, and so I go down the end, and nope, go down the end, nope, and I kept doing that. Like, I have to be missing this. So finally, I think, well, maybe it's on the other side of I-25 because some of them do that. So I go around to the other side of I-25 and it's not there. There's no Harper Street on that side. But I run across Calvary Chapel Church, Calvary Chapel, Albuquerque. Skip Heitzig is, I think, still the pastor there. He was in. Anyways, it's a giant church. And their service started at 11:30. And I'm like, this is it, you know.
I'm here.
You know, the sign. And so I get there and I'm like, I have no idea where to go. It's a big church. No idea where to go. And follow the signs. And there's a dude at the beginning of the parking lot, you know, waving me in and waves me down to the next dude in the parking lot who waves me over to the other part of the parking lot who pulls me in this space right here. Pull in, get out. Hey, how are you doing? Just hit that sidewalk there and go all the way down. Well, at the sidewalk, there's another person and they're greeting me halfway between where I parked and the church. There's another person. Keep going. You're almost there, you know, and just greeting you. And they've got the little vests on. Go down and get to the church part and there's a bookstore with coffee. So, you know, I gotta get coffee in there. And then walk over to the church part. There's a courtyard. Walk over to the church part. People outside. Hey, how are you doing? You know, come on in. Open the door for me. Go inside. And that was back in the paper bulletin days. Remember those?
Yep.
Hand me a paper bulletin. And this is it's probably about I'm just guessing 2,000 or 3,000 seat sanctuary.
Yeah.
And walk in, and man, this thing's ginormous. And I already kind of felt weird. That wasn't where I was planning on going. Didn't know much about Calvary Chapel. I had heard of it, but, you know, I'd only been here a short while. Walk in, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. There's one guy, and he's my hero. The friendliest guy I run across, and he like immediately, like when I walked in, because I was like, oh, wow. He goes, hey, is it just one of you? And I said, yeah. He goes, hang on just a minute. Dude runs down. There's a couple, because everybody wants to sit on the aisle.
Yeah.
There's a couple on the aisle, and he asked them to scoot down one seat, and then he waves me down. I get there. He introduces me. He had to ask him while I was on my way down, because it was down front. He introduces me to this couple, and you know, them to me.
Yeah.
And I sit down, and they start talking with me. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That I could have easily, well, so first of all, I hate to admit this as a pastor, but I was just on the edge of saying, okay, I'll just miss church. Because it was 11 o'clock, you know what I mean? And I couldn't find Hoppintown. Come to find out, Albuquerque does what a lot of people do. There's a Harper that's down near San Mateo behind the Starbucks. Harper Northeast is where I needed to be. And what's confusing about that is San Antonio from the highway. It changes to Harper at Wyoming at the big McDonald's there. You guys are going to be at Hoppintown, so you'll see that.
Okay. Cynthia's driving. So
yeah. So I was on the verge of not going to church. Oh, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that totally just changed my whole experience there. And I had great time. And of course, I love, you know, when I pastor, I go and ask people, you know, some picking their brains on, and a church this big, that church is so big. I heard somebody talking on a phone and they're like, yeah, no, down on the right. Okay, well, I'll stand up. Can you see me? Can you see me? And I'm like, holy cow, you know, when it takes that to find you. So, Jose hopped in there. Sorry, I didn't see you there, Jose.
And Jenny.
And Vicky. So here's the deal. We're such a small church that we would think we don't have any of those challenges that big church may have had.
No, but it's so much more than just saying good morning.
It is.
I mean, you were invited every step of the way.
Yeah.
There's less steps here.
Yeah.
But you still want to be invited and feel welcome.
Well, I look broadly. So, and things have changed since COVID. You know, I can say that like 8 times a day, probably. But if you're pulling in, there have been times where parking was full in the front. Wouldn't it be cool? Now this is down the road somewhere. and this wouldn't be a winter snow thing, this would be a
Right.
summertime, everybody's in town thing. Wouldn't it be cool if we had someone in the parking lot with a vest or a hat or some other way designated, and people come in, even if they're not coming to church here? Oh, are you looking for a parking spot?
Mhm.
Hey, so go right down here and turn, and we have a nice parking area now.
we have around the
Thank you,
side.
Angelo, for coordinating all that. So, go right down there, and another person down there wave and show them, hey, look, there's a whole nother set of parking back behind.
Mhm.
We also, you may not know this, have a whole nother parking area over on that side, over by the King's Treasure side. Now
Yep.
we park our vans there now. So wouldn't it? So they get there, and then when they get out, say, oh, are you coming to church? Oh no, we're just going through town. Okay, man, have a great time. Be sure and walk all the way down like to the library. You could just be friendly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if someone ended up later coming to our church or another because they're like, man,
They seem nice.
those were the friendliest people
Yeah.
I've ever run across.
Yeah.
I might give church a try, But then, so then what door do you come in?
Exactly.
Because they might try the office door. We need to do better signage. We're
Yep.
working on that part. They might try to come in the office door, which is not open on Sundays. If it's before 9:30, the sanctuary doors are not open.
Right.
So wouldn't it be cool to have, especially on nice days, our fake spring that we're having?
Yeah.
Winter's coming back on Wednesday.
Oh, I know.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
There's a chance of snow overnight.
We're having work done, so of course it's
Okay,
coming
yeah,
back.
So, but wouldn't it be cool then to, they go, there's someone outside, they know which door to go to, and we've got the banners, that helps. And come in, oh, hey, if it's before 9:30, they're coming into the coffee area.
Yes.
Hey, come on in. Hey, this is our coffee area. Sanctuary's not open. They're not ready for you just yet, but you can come in here and fellowship. There's coffee. And so that would be the greeter
Mhm.
person at the door. The greeters are at the doors. But then I want to have hosts.
Yes. Not everybody uses a Keurig.
Yeah.
So
And so we're used to the greeter thing, or, if you want to go back to traditional Baptist stuff, the ushers,
yes.
or the little jokes. One little boy turns to the other because little boy's getting all fidgety and stuff, in the pew. And one little boy turns to the other and says, you better be quiet or the hushers are going to come and get you. The hushers. So we're kind of used to that. But I would see a host as somebody who's on the inside
Mhm.
who helps just like you would be at your home.
Mhm.
Somebody comes inside, and I see this a lot at our church. People come in, they don't quite know what to do. And I hear this a lot from people because we're a smaller church. Well, I don't want to sit in anybody's seat. I'm like, if you think it's somebody's seat, show me. I'll let you sit there.
Yeah.
We don't have assigned seats in church. We have our normal seats.
Yes. But we move sometimes.
Somebody sat in my seat Sunday.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
But I don't want people to worry about where they're going to sit. I don't want them to be afraid someone's going to be mad at them.
Mhm.
That's not what we want to project as
No.
a church. So the host could be, oh, hey, come on in. And for me, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, we want to be so much better. We need to beef this up. We're recruiting people
Yes.
to be on our welcome team, which includes the greeters,
Yep.
which would be at the doors.
Mhm.
The host who would be
host.
inside. So the host
Yep.
for the coffee area could say, come on in, my name's so and so and so and so. And then usually we have people hanging around there.
Mhm.
Hey, this is so and so. Introduce them to people around. Do you drink coffee? No, I'm a tea drinker. Well, you're in luck.
We have tea.
We have some tea left over from Christmas called Silent Night. I thought it
Yes.
was a chamomile tea. It's not. It's
I
a
was
black tea.
first time I looked at it, I was like,
Yeah,
but it's good.
It's a chamomile tea. It's a Christmassy kind of. And then we have English breakfast,
Yes,
which is
regular.
good tea.
Regular.
Yeah, regular.
Yeah.
And then we have coffees. Are
Yep.
you a bold coffee
Light
drinker?
roast,
A
dark
light.
roast,
We
yep.
have one more. Might have got drank on Sunday. One more decaf. Or we have water. I mean, same thing.
Yes.
No. So, but that, I mean, could you just see that? So then make sure they get settled. But then from the coffee area, they could introduce them to the host for the sanctuary at that
Yes.
door. Because, you go into that door
Mhm.
and then they could help them find a seat. So whether it's hosts in the sanctuary or hosts in the coffee area, And I don't know if we'll ever get back to that again, but our overflow in the fellowship hall,
Yes.
to have someone down there, hey, come
Yeah.
on in.
Well, even not only at finding the coffee and finding the restrooms, but knowing that there's nursery available.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody sitting in the back, jiggling a baby because they're not sure if they're allowed to go somewhere. You can come in mid-service, come in anytime.
Yeah, not even just a nursery, but we've got moms that have babies.
Yes.
We've got one that's gonna have a baby.
Baby.
Who's over here, and not just we have a nursery, but there's also a nursing.
Nursing area. Yes.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
if you need a nursing, go in the nursery. There's a place that'll help
Yep.
you in
There's some
there.
privacy.
So you can put your baby in there, or up to 2
Yes.
in the nursery. But not even that. If they've got other, how old are your kids? And we always want to give them the option. I don't want to tell them they have to.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you want to bring your kid,
You're more than welcome to stay
I'm great with that.
in service.
I love it. Any
Yeah.
noise he makes, I'm like, oh, man,
Yes.
it's music to my ears,
Yep.
and a song to my heart. That's my amen. But to let them know, hey, so we have pre-K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are the ages? Just before kindergarten. If
Yeah.
they're not in kindergarten yet, if they're 3, they may be 5, but if they're not in
Yeah.
kindergarten yet, they can go in there. And so, but to let them know those kind of
Mhm.
things, and in the sanctuary, take them and this is something, and we're going to do some training. We're actually going to do a training this week we said 2
2:00. 2:00 on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday at 2. We originally planned that for yesterday, but
Right. Then
some
realize.
little Super Bowl
Yeah.
thing. By the way,
Some people
wait.
might be busy.
The Eagles won.
I did not expect it to look like that.
Kansas City decided they didn't really want to play another.
They forgot to
Super Bowl.
come. Yeah.
That was crazy. And that last touchdown they got just because.
Yeah.
anyhow.
I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, Eagles were like, you really got to get 5 touchdowns in a minute and a half
Yeah.
to beat us.
We already dumped the Gatorade. Do what you want.
If you think you can get 5 touchdowns, even the Cowboys back in the heyday couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So this coming Sunday at 2, and we're going to have it here at the church.
Yes.
Because we want to model, we want to show them
Yep.
everything's going on. So it's gonna take some training to kind of help them understand what we're looking for, and everything. So I didn't prep you for this, but we
Okay.
talked about this before.
Okay.
With every ministry, we're kind of doing a reboot of ministry. So with
Mhm.
every ministry, I want them to know kind of what your purpose is. And so we said overall, the purpose of the welcome team, whether you're a greeter or a host,
Mhm.
is to make people feel welcome. But we talked about three words. You remember those 3 words? I help you.
Oh, good.
I totally stole this from someone else, but I changed the order, so it's mine now.
Okay.
It's ours.
If
now.
you change 20%, it's not copyright.
I changed
infringement.
33 and a third.
There you go.
Because there's only 3 words. Change the order. So we want them, when people come here, here's our goal for the whole worship team. We want people to be noticed,
Mhm.
known, and loved.
Yes.
Those are 3 things we want. Welcome is the big overall word,
Yeah.
but 3 things that we want people to feel when they come here. First of all, we see you. We notice you. You didn't come in and sit through a service and walk out with
Yes.
nobody saying boo.
Yeah.
We notice you, and that's big in the post-COVID world. That was one of the things that we found out during the pandemic was loneliness destroys people.
You were so isolated.
Yeah. And we're still dealing. We have a whole generation Alpha.
Yeah.
That they're still struggling with
Mhm.
that. This is. I just started reading a book. I need to dive into it more, called The Anxious Generation,
Mm.
and that's what it's talking about. It was exacerbated.
Exacerbated.
Made worse. It was
Yes.
made worse.
Yes.
It was made worse during the pandemic. But we want people. We notice you. And that was a big deal. There's still some kids that wear a mask, and I think it's because they're trying to hide,
Mm.
especially when they pull the hoodie down and put the
Yes.
mask on.
Yeah.
Then you have to look in their pockets and stuff. But are they a gangster? Or
Yeah.
anyhow?
Yeah.
But we notice you. So you're greeted, names, and then you're known.
Mhm.
Hey, tell me. So are you new here in
Yeah.
Cloudcroft?
What
Are you
brought
here
you?
visiting?
Yeah.
What what part of Texas are you from? You know, that's what I need to start asking people. What part of Texas are you? Because I said, where are you from, Texas?
Yeah.
What's a big place? You know, what part of Texas? Fort Worth. Okay, well, what part of Fort Worth? You know, found out one time going through that whole process that this is crazy. We didn't live at the same time, but they lived on across the street and down a few houses from a house that I used to live in.
Oh my gosh.
in,
Small world.
in northwest Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So anyhow, noticed, known, so we get to know them by name, and then that they feel like they are loved.
Mhm.
That not just that they are loved, but they feel that they're loved.
Yes.
That's what we want in our welcome team. And so everything we do is going to be toward that end.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, and just getting people engaged even on their first visit just
Mhm.
makes them feel part of the church already, even if it's their first time.
Yeah.
It's like they can go home and be like, "Oh, I met the pastor. I met, Tina. I met whoever."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You're from Fort Worth. Our pastor's from Fort
Yeah.
Worth. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually they say Dallas, Fort Worth, and then you have to say where.
Yeah.
A million places. We had the YWAM mission team here, and Stan and Jane Richardson, who host that. They're kind of the YWAM base hosts. When I met Stan right after I came, and he's from Benbrook. Now that may not mean much to
It
you.
doesn't.
We moved here from Southwest Fort Worth. Benbrook is just across Benbrook Lake. So we just had a lake that separated us.
Oh, okay.
So we were living there at the same. Well, he was actually in Tyler, but he grew up. Our schools weren't in the same district. I thought they were, but I went to Richland High School. He went to Western Hills, and anyhow, so you make those connections
Mhm.
with them, and people stick with a church where they have connections.
Yes.
They might go there because of different things. Most of the time, it's because someone invited them.
Yeah.
But they stick there because you have connections. So
Yep.
that's our welcome team. That's our
Yes.
goal of the welcome team. So if you want to volunteer for the welcome team, you can text welcome to I think it's 833-260-2542. I think might be right.
I don't know.
You can look it up in the church app.
Or you can just come next Sunday at
Yeah.
2:00.
Yeah. 833-260-4524. I was close. 4524. So anyhow, thanks, Hillary, over there. Thanks for jumping in. It's fun to do this.
Anytime.
So yeah. So okay. Well, no.
Yeah.
You'll be back on for something else. Thanks for hopping in with us for In the Know, a place where we can just kind of let you know what's happening, going on, what we're doing, why we're doing stuff, what is the reason behind to kind of connect with who we are and what we do as a church. So let me pray for you guys, send you off into your week. Man, January is almost gone.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, thank you for your love.
January is gone.
Okay, yeah. Lord, help me figure out what month it is. God, we thank you for the way you love us. Help us to be conduits of that love to other people. And Lord, I pray that you would help us to start with that, with our welcome team. And when people come, God, that they are noticed, that they're known, and that they're loved. And God, you would help us to make connections that way, so that we can really connect them to you through Jesus. And Father, help us to do it well. God, I pray that you would give us wisdom and discernment as we kind of reboot the welcome team, put it together. God, I pray that you'd put this on people's hearts to serve in this particular way. And God, would you just do it in a way that brings you honor and glory. And Lord, even through something as simple as a welcome team, we pray that you would use it to bring people to faith in Jesus. For it's in his name we pray. Amen. Thanks for hopping in, guys. And we will see you on Wednesday with Jim. And usually we flesh out the message, but since it was a missions team,
yes.
maybe we can talk about missions. So anyhow, love you guys. Good to see you. And we will see you again on Wednesday. If I can click all the right buttons here. There's that one.